Here's the real reason. I've already said it. The real reason that players are coming back starts with a cha and ends with a ching. Cha-ching. They want the money. Because, like, NIL. And I think you could even push this to, like, an NIL.
Okay, I hit record. Hey guys, welcome back to the Hike the Y podcast. We are back with another episode, and today it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have a little bit of a debate, kind of.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
I'm kind of excited. We're going to talk a little bit about G League players and how we feel about them coming down into the NCAA and playing basketball. So let's get started, boys. There's some kind of controversy going on in the NCAA world. Namely, there are some G League players who have signed contracts and have played in the G League that are now going back to college, and they're receiving eligibility to play.
Let me just preface that.
Go ahead.
If you don't know what the G League is, it's pretty much an NBA affiliate league. So it's like lower than the NBA. You're not technically an NBA player, but like that NBA team has your rights.
But you're about to.
You're a professional basketball player with a team that
still
owns
professional.
your rights.
Like
Yes.
if we look at like McClung as a pretty good example, he will get like 51 points in the G League, and they'll pull him up to whatever team. I forget what team he plays for, but he'll get pulled up to the NBA. He'll play a couple games, and then he'll go back down to the G League. Like Bronny James, for like the Lakers, he does that as well.
It's similar to like it's kind of like minor league in baseball. There's some differences that I don't really know, but it's not the same idea.
It's like a feed-in team kind of.
More or less.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're curious, Google the G League for more.
Yeah. So some of the players that are now in the NCAA, we have one on BYU's team. His name is Abdul Ahmed. I don't know. I forgot that. Also known as Bido. And so it can be a little controversial sometimes. You'll see headlines saying BYU has NBA players. And a couple seasons ago, we had Igor Demin, who was another phenomenal player who's playing very well in the NBA. He didn't play in the NBA, but he played overseas in professional leagues. We also have London Johnson from Louisville, Charles Bediako from Alabama, Larry Darlin from Santa Clara, James Najee, is that how you say it? From Baylor.
I think Najee kind of set this whole thing off.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into
one.
it.
He's the biggest one.
Yeah, and Najee was a first-round draft pick too. And obviously he never played in the NBA. That's the distinction, is that all these players never actually signed an NBA contract and actually played in the NBA. But like obviously there's a bunch of controversy because there's still a professional coming back down.
Yeah, and so this change happened in 2025, and it came from the NCAA themselves. And there's kind of like an application process, but usually they're getting a couple more years added to their eligibility. So before you have something to add?
Oh, no, I just wanted to preface. I was reading an article that says pretty much how this whole thing came about. And just like a preface for our potential argument. Okay. Where this rule change like came in 2014. Where,
really?
Yeah, so I just learned this like 10 minutes ago looking at this article. But pretty much NCAA bylaw 12.2.2.2.1. So I don't think
very technical.
Not many people knew this.
Very technical here on the Hike the Y podcast.
It pretty much says, before initial full-time collegiate enrollment, an individual may compete on a professional team provided the individual does not receive more than actual and necessary expenses to participate on the team. So this, you can see how there could be a lot of loopholes there.
It's so broad, yeah.
But pretty much, like, from what I understand, is that this rule, it was actually passed in 2013, but that nothing happened because of it, because until very recently with NIL, you cannot make more money in college than you could make even on like a G League team. Mm-hmm. And so then when people realized, you know what, I could go back to college, I can make more money. Like that's how this thing kind of started out. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say I would like to go around the room and just start off this discussion. Like,
you have the strongest opinion, right?
Dude, I think so.
We have you not start then?
I think so.
Would that be possible?
I'll go last. Do you agree?
Okay.
And do you not agree? And then we can get into it. So let's start with Connor. Do you agree that players? I guess what we're agreeing to is, do we believe that players should be able to come down from the G League and play some more years of college basketball, or play their first college basketball, even though they've played overseas in a professional league?
Yeah, and I'd say, like, just for the sake of the argument, let's throw out, like, what the actual rules are. And, like, I mean, I guess you can
just
pull
like
it up.
ethically.
But, like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Like, what do you actually think? So.
Yeah, there was something super interesting. They were talking about last Saturday. We mentioned it on the podcast when all those freshmen scored had how many freshmen went over? At least four freshmen.
There were three freshmen, four players.
Four players,
went over
three
40
freshmen
points.
went over 40 points, and they were talking about amazing that with all of this going on, everybody's talking about should G League players be able to come back down, whatever. But these guys are the guys that were in high school. Three 40-point games out of guys that were in high school last year. That's amazing. And so I think the problem is that how stacked this year's freshman class is, that this happens to be happening at the same time. I think it could get out of hand very quickly, but we're not going to see it yet because these freshmen are going to be the ones. You know, we've got Cameron Boozer, AJ DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, others, right, that are going to go to the league. And so it's going to be a couple more years maybe before the true shock of this is seen, I think. I'm not really sure. I don't really have like a really, really, really set opinion on this because it's interesting because Beto is on our team and he was on G League. And so without him, our team would be, the dynamic is totally different. So, but it's also overall for the state of basketball, is it really hurting it yet? Is it going to in the future? I can't really say. And so I'm kind of a little neutral. So if you guys got a stronger argument, I'd love to hear it. But I definitely see from the side of the player and from the side of the coaches. Like I was listening, John Calipari, head coach of Arkansas, kind of went on an epic rant about this shouldn't be allowed. And all of that, most of them think the same way. But it's interesting to see the ones who do think that way.
Yeah, it's funny that most of the people that are very, well, I wouldn't say maybe not most, but like John Calipari, Tom Izzo, Matt Painter, like those guys are
the most
very
tenured coaches.
Yeah, some guys who have been coaching the league for a long time. They're kind of old heads. Like they are very, very against this because they don't want to change. Like humans naturally don't want things to change. But yeah, that's just like their opinion. My opinion, I don't have like a strong opinion on this, a super strong opinion. But I know, or because like I really haven't thought about it that much. I just kind of saw, G League players are coming down. Just another thing like NIL, like all this other stuff. But I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think about it this way: you have a high school team. If you play in high school and then you go up and you play some professional ball, like you can't come back down and play high school. Like that's just it's a huge advantage, and like you just can't do it. Why should that be different for college ball? Do you want me to answer that? The other thing that I don't like is that with NIL, like you already have all of this change just in the past 3 years. You see guys transfer 4 times. They've played for 4 different schools. I can't remember the guy's name. You guys remember a couple years ago where there was the Florida quarterback commit that or he was committed. So I should remember this better because I looked into it a lot. There was a guy that was committed to either Florida or then he later transferred to Florida for like a certain amount of money. And then some other teams like, you know what? Hey, listen up. Like, we're going to give you more money if you come here. Jaden Rashida. That was his name. Yeah. And I better make sure because I don't want to just be...
I have a basketball example.
Yeah, here. Sorry, let me just finish this.
Go ahead.
Jaden Rashada has now I think he's transferred. You know what? I'm thinking of a completely different dude. But this guy has transferred. There's a bunch of players that have just transferred like 4 times. They don't even have a connection at all to the school. Like, what is this? I don't like it.
Yeah, like one example would be AJ Storr, who played his freshman year at St. John's, transferred to Wisconsin and was named the Big Ten Player of the Year, transferred to Kansas, where he then transferred to Ole Miss for his final year. So playing for 4 different teams.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. That is a different topic. But
well, it's a different topic. But if you have change after change after change, like the college basketball landscape, I feel like it's going in a direction that's worse overall for college basketball.
Okay, yeah.
You're getting like just players that are solely going to schools for money. Like this is, I don't even know if my dad listens to the podcast, but if you are listening to the podcast, Dad, this is a shout out for you. My dad hates, he hates it. How he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll turn on a BYU basketball game. And he turns it on. He's like, how do any of these players have any connection to BYU basketball? Like he looks at it, like you got, I guess, Richie Saunders. Now I'm forgetting his name. The guy on the bottom, Jared McGregor. You got, I feel like there's got to be someone else who's like has true ties to BYU. Like who else on this BYU team came to BYU because they agree with the values of Brigham Young University? I don't know. I just feel like, and I just went on like a long rant and stuff like that, which I was talking about before the podcast not to do. But anyway, Nate, go ahead.
I think for AJ DeBanza, the reason he came to BYU was not for money, and he has publicly said that multiple times.
If AJ DeBanza gets $0 to come here, is he coming here?
Yes.
No, he's not. There's no way AJ DeBanza is coming here.
If you listen to some of his interviews, the reason
what's he gonna say? Yeah, man.
I'm just here for the paycheck.
The reason
no, he's not going to say that. Obviously, money had a part of it.
Yeah, there is a aspect of that. But the reason he came here was because he wants to be coached by the best. He talked to NBA players and said, "Which school should I go to?" And the school that said that, or what Kevin Durant said is, I'm just going to name drop him.
Kevin Durant's a little biased, as Kevin Young did work with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he said go to BYU because Kevin Young will make you a better basketball player. And so the reason AJ's here, from what he claims, is because here at BYU, he can be trained by Kevin Young. And he said he had offers that were double BYU's at other schools, but he didn't accept them. He went to BYU for Kevin Young for that opportunity to learn. So I think getting back on topic.
Well, I mean, I've liked
I like the little sidetrack. What I understand what you just said is, and tell me if I'm wrong, there's a lot of change going on, and the change is kind of getting farther away from traditional basketball.
I think it's just getting out of hand
basketball.
a little bit, and it's college basketball is becoming more about money and less about
it's
college
more
basketball.
of like an expansion of the NBA kind of, where it's like there's like more teams.
I don't know if I'd say an expansion of the NBA, but I'd say it's becoming more like the NBA. Like, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think what my opinion is on this is G League players should be able to come down.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know that's a little controversial. In fact, most of the sports world are saying that G League players coming down to the NCAA, it's going to ruin the game. I'm going to explain to you why I don't think it's going to ruin the game. Our first case study, Beto Ahmed.
Okay, if your point is going to be on hating on some of these players'
No,
stats,
I'm not gonna hate on it. Here's my take. I think a lot of G League players are coming back down to college to get more training. I think they want to become better basketball players, and they want to make it to the NBA, and so they want to get trained by the best, and they want to go to facilities where they can train.
I'm a bit confused. Like, how are college basketball coaches and facilities and training staffs like just automatically better than G League training stuff?
What I understand is that the NCAA is a little bit easier than the G League, and so they're going to be able to come down here and they're going to be able to practice their trade. An example that I would give to you that you mentioned earlier, you said college basketball players can't go down to high school, but what high school players can do is they can go down to like rec leagues, and they can go down to junior jazz for people who live in Utah, where you can practice your trade by playing on other teams. The junior jazz is like a program where it's not really as competitive as high school basketball, but you're still able to play basketball, right? And so, like, let's say I'm playing high school ball. I go take a break and I go play for junior jazz. And I go practice. I play a couple seasons like that. And then I go back and I play high school basketball. It's kind of like these G League players realized that, oh, actually, I might have prematurely went to the NBA because I was a little too excited. And now that I'm here in the G League, I'm not as good as I thought I was. I wish I would have played a couple more years in college. Because what it used to be back in the day is, oh, I'm going to play for 4 years and then I'm going to go to the NBA. I'm going to play for 3 years. Now it's like AJ DeVance is a good example. He's only going to play for 1 year and then he's going to be a number 1 draft pick. So G League players can come back down to college, say, Kevin Young, you were an NBA coach. I want you to train me. I want to become a really good center. So Abdullah Ahmed, he played in the G League for the Westchester Knicks. He averaged 4 points, and he played for 1 year. And
Funny how he's averaging less points here at BYU.
He never got to play NCAA basketball because he came from Cairo, Egypt, where he lives.
Mm-hmm.
College basketball is a really good place for him to kind of expand his abilities. Right now in college, he's averaging 2.4 points a game. He's worse in rebounds because he averaged 5.5 in the G League and now only 4.1. And so it's like, it's not like these G League players are coming down because they want to play easier basketball. It's because they want to refine their talents. Abdullah Ahmed.
I also think it's because they want money.
Do you think Abdullah Ahmed's being paid more?
Yeah.
Right now?
Probably.
Potentially. Okay, that could be a thing. And you know what? BYU's got a pretty deep pocket. But Abdullah,
they've shown it.
but part of it is Abdullah Ahmed wants to become a better basketball player. That's why I could see him coming down because it's not like he's like getting 60 points in a basketball game. It's not like, oh wow, this G League player, all of these if you look at every single person on this list of people that we mentioned earlier that came from the G League, it's not like they're averaging 16 points a game. It's not like they're averaging 20 points a game. They're like some of the worst players on their team, and they're being outplayed by freshmen who are going to go into the NBA draft immediately. Mm-hmm. So that's why I agree why an NBA, like a G League player could come down.
I will say, what's to stop it right here? What's to stop it at G League players? Like, what if you get drafted, you play in the NBA, like for, let's say, a couple of games. You play a couple NBA games, but you're mostly in the G League. And then you're like, wait, I want to go back to college too. Like, I'm not going to go back to the NBA. I'm not getting any minutes at all. Mm-hmm. Like, what's to stop it there? I feel like this could eventually...
Let's start that. I say add that. Because,
what?
Because then...
so you're saying you want LeBron James to play in college?
No. That's not what I'm saying.
You just said that.
Here's the one thing is that, well, the NBA, the G League used to be, before Gatorade had a sponsorship, was the D League, which literally meant developmental league. So the purpose of the D League, or now the G League, is for player development. And so if you're in the NBA already and you're not doing your craft, they're probably going to send you to the G League anyway. And so there's no point in you going back to college and going through all of the NCAA regulations instead of just staying in the same league on the same tier.
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't make sense, but I'm saying that like that's an option for a player. Like I'm thinking of like, there's this person who went to my high school who right now is playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He doesn't get like any play time at all. If he were to go to, like, he plays in the G League, and if you know what, I would say go back to college, spend a couple more years, because he only spent like 2-3 years in college. Spend 1 more year and become a better basketball player.
I'm confused why you think going back to college is going
How's
to
he going to
help
have
you
better training
become that much better basketball player than
with the NBA champions? How does he get better here in college compared to there?
Well, he's going to be
just because you're not getting playing time doesn't mean you're not getting coached.
Yeah, but you're also not getting as focused. I would say, like, if you're a starter on the NCAA basketball team, you'd get focused a lot more than if you were playing left bench for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
So you're saying it's a focus issue?
Yeah.
So you're saying players should be able to come back to college because they can't focus?
No, they're not getting focused on. they're like no like
you
they're not
realize
getting
how
like,
many you know how much staff like these teams
they're
like
getting
they have
they're
like
getting
double
trained.
like triple the amount of coaches.
Yeah, so you get
that
like
there are players.
the third string coach, some coach that like you've never really heard of, who's like
That's
for
not
the
how
Oklahoma
it works.
City Thunder, or you come down to BYU and you have Kevin Young, the head coach of BYU, train you.
Well,
So,
Kevin Young.
wait,
a little bit
I'm a
better.
bit confused. Why is Kevin Young training you?
Well,
Like out of all the
Kevin Young
so you got
himself is not
15
doing
people. You got 15 people on the BYU squad.
Yeah.
and you got the best
There's, like,
coaches on
assistant
BYU.
coaches
Then
and
you
stuff,
got
yeah.
15 people on the NBA squad, but like the worst coaches are coaching you. That's not.
You'd rather
how it works.
you'd rather have an NCAA coach and NCAA equipment and training facilities to an NBA coach, training facilities, equipment, and atmosphere
I would rather have an
for player development.
Wait, I want to clarify your argument. Is your argument that players should come back to college because they aren't getting focused on in the NBA and they should have the opportunity, or just that you just think that they should have the opportunity, whatever the reason?
I'm just saying that they should have an opportunity, and then I gave a reason why.
But your reason doesn't make any sense.
I will just say, according to ESPN, NCAA eligibility rules. The NCAA eligibility rules state the player cannot have previously enrolled in college, cannot have played in an official NBA game, and must be within a 5-year window of their high school graduation. So Nate's proposal actually like breaks all 3 points on the NCAA. So he's proposing an entire change to the NCAA eligibility.
Well, here's the real reason. I've already said it. The real reason that players are coming back starts with a cha and ends with a ching. Cha-ching. They want the money. Because like NIL. And I think we could even shift this to like an NIL discussion. I know we have to wrap up relatively soon. But like, I think it was John Calipari who made this suggestion where college, he suggested if you're a college player, you can transfer one time. Yeah. He's like, okay, you go to the wrong school, like maybe your coach leaves, like something like that happens, like you messed up, you get one more opportunity. And then if you want to transfer again, you have to take the penalty. You have to wait for a year or something.
Yeah.
And that's how I think it was done way back in the day.
Yeah, that's
and
how it
so,
was.
Gap year.
Yeah, like you had to take a gap year. So I don't know. I would rather see that than just this whole thing just exploding. But
yeah, I would
obviously
too.
Nate doesn't care about college basketball.
It would obviously
I'm just kidding.
okay. It would obviously bring back some of that loyalty you were talking about earlier, because if you transfer from somewhere and you end up at BYU, you say, well, maybe this isn't where I wanted to be. Maybe it wasn't, but now I'm going to stay here and I'm going to get better with these guys, with this great atmosphere. The same is true, could be true of a lot of different places in the country. So I think that would be a good idea to like kind of lock down on transfer rules a little bit.
And obviously,
it would be better
I don't
and
think
healthier
it's
for the sport.
I don't think it's ever going to happen with what's been going on.
It's
But
trending the other way, which is slightly concerning.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have any other arguments for your point, Nate?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I feel like a lot of people are worried that all these G League players that are coming down are gonna like destroy college basketball, and maybe it is a problem because of money. But you know what? I just want to see the best players on the court. Like the reason I watch college basketball,
LeBron James
is I want to see the best players on the court.
Wait,
LeBron James
what
can't go
this?
back down to high school because he's played for
not
an
high
NBA
school.
or college, because he's played in the NBA for 21 years.
Okay, so where is the line drawn? Because you were mentioning how your buddy or high school friend who sat on the bench, OKC should be able to come down. Like, is there a requirement? Like
Does he
20
want to?
games, like a year? Like, did you win an NBA title? If you did, you can't come back down. Like, where's the line?
Where do you
drawn?
draw the line? Yeah.
I'm saying if I was the NCAA committee and I had to like draw a line, I would do like case by case.
That is the worst idea I've ever heard.
Hold on.
That is really problematic.
Hold on.
You're gonna let a committee decide. Case by case.
A committee decides, and they're gonna have.
Weren't we just complaining about the college football playoff? Like the committee, like how annoying that was.
Hold on, let me get out my opinion.
I'm waiting.
They're gonna have like a certain amount of requirements, and it's like, okay, how much playing time have you had? And there will be playing time requirements. How many points were you scoring? And we're gonna look at like what is your reason to go back into college? And like you've got to go like it's like a job application to get back into the NCAA.
This is literally the worst idea I've ever heard, Nate. I'm not trying to be mean. Like you're telling me if a player averages 5.1 points per game, they can't come back down. But if they average 4.9 points per game, they're totally good.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
So what if I want to come back down and I'm like, holy cow, shoot, I'm averaging 5.1
I need to
points per
tank
game.
my
I better
points.
freaking tank these next couple of games. Just boom, air ball, all of this stuff. So
Pass
I can
the
get
ball.
underneath that
15 assists, 0 points.
I don't know. I think if you're going to, I personally don't even, okay, there is like instances like all the time where players play professionally overseas and then come and play college ball. And like I think that could be another argument in and of itself. But like if you play in the NBA, the highest league in the world, and I just can't. I'm not going to go on another rant.
Well, I mean, there's players that play in the NBA that don't actually get playing time, right? Like they're sitting on the bench and they're in and out of the G League, like.
Okay, yeah, but if you are, I just think you need to draw a very, very fine line if you are gonna like implement this.
And you know what? For now, we'll just keep it with the G League players coming down. Like it doesn't need to change. But I'm just saying, like there are NBA players out there that don't get any playing time, and
so why should they come back to college?
let them come back to college.
okay.
Let them play basketball and let them get money for what their craft is. Yeah, they're getting paid to not play basketball, but I think some people love the game and they actually want to play ball.
The biggest problem is it's just simple mathematics, where there's 30 NBA teams, 5 people each team on the floor every time, right? There's only 150 people at any possible combination of NBA games that can be on a floor at the same time. There's a lot more than 150 good basketball players in the league. And so that's where the business part of it comes into it. When you're talking professional ball, where they get traded or they get, they renegotiate the contract or whatever, and try to add like clauses that can help them make more money if they're not seeing that much playing time. I do feel like this argument, I see it, but also you're defending people that maybe don't want to be defended. Like, have you talked to your buddy who won a world championship with the Oklahoma
I haven't
City
talked to
Thunder?
nobody. I haven't talked to nobody.
Would he be interested in going back to play college basketball again?
Yeah,
I doubt it.
I would not.
I feel like
I think a lot of people would want to stay in the NBA.
So I feel like if you make the NBA and you make the NBA, you should stay in the that's the dream, is being in the NBA.
Well, I mean, you've got like a bunch of guys like that fit right into your category, Nate. And I feel like Jimmer Fredette's probably one of the best examples, where you've got a guy who goes completely off. He just pops off in college. Jimmer Fredette won a Naismith Award. He was the best college basketball player in college basketball. He went to the NBA, had very little success. Guess where he's at right now? He's still playing.
Overseas.
He's now playing 3v3 basketball.
Oh, really?
But he played in China for like 15 years.
And he was a star
And
in
he was
China.
a star, yeah. So
if you want to play,
if you want to play ball, you
will
can
play ball.
You can go find a place to play ball.
Yeah.
I think the people that are still on NBA rosters, if you're not playing and they're okay with it, it's for they're also there for the cha-ching as well.
I get your point, Nate. Just some of the arguments.
I just want to say now that you guys are like kind of debating it, yeah, my take's kind of bad, but I can see it. I definitely lost this round, but I'm just saying. I hope that you can see. I think the main takeaway is that these G League players, as of right now, they're not popping off. They're not ruining the game. Abdullah Ahmed is getting 2 points. Like, we can go down the list. There are players who came down from the G League who are not absolutely destroying every. Like, it's not like every game that BYU goes into, Abdullah Ahmed is throwing down windmill dunks over whoever.
Some poor 18-year-old.
Right? That's not what's happening. We have AJ DeBanza doing that, who's coming out of high school. And so I think that's the concern. I think the biggest concern here is freshman players only playing 1 year, but that's a different topic, different year.
You know what?
Do we agree?
We should have another podcast episode.
I agree with that too, Luke. Yes. Everybody like that. I agree.
I love how college football does it. You get a guy for 3 years most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually develop someone and like, you know what? I love this guy, and guess what? He's gonna be on our team next year.
Yeah, like
of
imagine.
course,
Okay, so
like if he doesn't transfer, but
guys,
give this example. You got Yegor Denman.
Yeah, sorry.
This is a topic for another podcast. This is a topic for another podcast. I feel like I like having like these debate ones.
We can tune in. Let's go.
I like it. Yeah.
Tune in next time.
We can definitely have another debate one. And let's talk about staying for 1 year or staying for more.
Yeah, or like.
There's not really much debate. We all are on the same page. So,
I mean, I can play devil's advocate.
The general idea of it, yeah.
I can always play devil's advocate. So
you can always talk about even high school players potentially going straight to the NBA again.
Yeah, like that. That's how it is in baseball.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, would AJ have just gone straight to the NBA?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, see you guys.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for listening to the debate podcast.
So that was fun. We definitely got to do it again.
I think it was fun doing a debate podcast. Go watch and cheer on our Cougars.
2:30 Mountain Time, ESPN, BYU, Kansas.
BYU, Kansas at Kansas. Go Cougars.
Hoorah!
See you next week. Bye.
Here we go. Go Dogs! Six.
Go team. We got it, team.
Yay, team.
See that?
They just cut the pod, please.